We are live! Yeah! It's Wednesday, it's interview day. You're here for MarkTalk, where I talk to people or talk about myself or whatever I'm going to do in the format. And it's so exciting, and I'm so happy to be here, guys. So, Wednesday is our interview day, and if you know, I have someone here that I am so excited to talk about. We'll bring her up in a moment. But if you like what you're seeing, please press the like button. Please subscribe. Please share out. I'm working really hard to make sure this channel is not just a personal channel, but like a channel that is about what I am as a person. And for those that know me, they know that I've been working pretty hard. Like recently, this is my 4th interview day of MarkTalk. This is my 2nd Survivor contestant. First from the American version, because I had Tony Tebbett 2 weeks ago, but also I had some other people I respect from the sequester community, like Kaylee Patterson, Sharifa Yasmin, and I am so excited because few people have ever spoken to me as a Survivor fan as Lyrsa has. Lyrsa is incredible. Like, her story is one of my favorites in Survivor history. She was fun to watch. We were robbed of her in the jury. And she's also part of some of the most famous moments because she has the most famous piece of clothing in Survivor history, I think. I'm so excited. I'm gonna just bring her out right now. I can't wait to talk to her with you guys. Lyrsa!
Hi!
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. It's been a bit of a lazy day, and I'm just really happy to talk to you and be able to spend some time with you because I feel like we met a few months ago because of RHAP stuff, and we hit it off quickly because of Mafia, and we both love Animal Crossing, and we both love Naomi Calhoun.
I used to in the beginning to crash Jordan's Mafia games and just come over hey guys, what you doing? But lately I haven't seen Jordan post anything. Jordan, what's going on with the game? I don't even know if you guys are playing. And we're doing stuff on Sundays, where in Massachusetts, things are little by little starting going back to kind of normal. So
that's good.
We're we've been going out. We were going to drive-ins because we really like to go to the movies, but we're not allowed to go to theaters. And there's a bunch of drive-in nearby, so we'll be doing that and trying to open our pod of people we are, exchanging interactions kind of close, because I am in that group of high risk people, and I feel like if I get that shit, I'm gonna die. So I don't want to die.
Want you to die.
No, I don't want to die because I know that maybe in less than 5 years they're gonna pull me back to play again, and I have to be alive for that shit.
You need to come back. Oh my god! You're one of the ones. You're I remember distinctly the first moment I noticed you on the show, which was because I think the opening moments of Survivor and your season. Your season Survivor is one of the ones I highly recommend to people that have never watched Survivor or want to get back into it just because the gameplay is cool. Even though you guys are all people, I'll refer to you guys as characters because there's an edit involved. The characters are interesting, and the opening moments, how you're chosen as the most David of the Davids, and then you and Christian just destroy the competition there.
And and I knew it as soon as Jeff said, "Oh, you guys pick the person that you think is the weakest." I'm they're gonna fucking pick me. Come on, I'm a chunky nugget. I look super different than everybody else here, and usually people on the show with a lot of tattoos and colorful, looks don't go that far. So, and I have an accent, and these people don't know that because they haven't heard me yet. So I knew it was gonna be me. I was always picked last in school, so I was so ready for it.
And then you just dominated that whole challenge, and it's that thing of that season for me, from top to bottom, is literally is my favorite recommendation season. If someone wants a modern season,
Yeah, and I really I started watching the show when it came out, and I always told all my friends, someday I'm going to be on that show. You'll see that one day I'm going to be on that show. I'm going to be on that show. I'm going to be on that show. And then almost 20 years later, I'm on the show. And I always wanted to be part of a great season. Even though if I was the first one out, I always wanted to be in a good season. Because, I love Survivor, and I love all the castaways, but you know that there's some seasons that are, you know, a little bit tricky. And
Yeah.
I wanted to be in a really good season. And I think that we achieved that. We had like one of the best seasons out there.
I mean, the casting was spot on. The gameplay was, I mean, incredible. And it was just like anything can happen. And that was my favorite thing about your season.
Yeah. We had a good season. Yeah.
Was
Except
that
for
your first
all the rain.
Yeah, you guys were like crazy rain. Of course, the horrible thing in the beginning with Patrick. That was the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, we had like so much rain. I smell. I people keep asking me like, do you guys like shower? Like, do you smell? And I realized how bad we smell when we were evacuated the second time. And you can smell it out of the room that we were. If you went out to the bathroom, it smelled like so fresh and like very Fijian and flowers, and then you got into that room and it smelled like moldy cheese, super wet. With like, it was so gross. And then every time we went to a challenge and we had to like interact with people that were miking us up, I was like, I'm so sorry I smelled this bad, because I know they could smell us, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And every single time they had to put my mic on, I had to pee. So at the body odor, like I probably smelled like pee the whole time because I was always peeing around. So it was awful. It was awful. There's no smell compared to what we smell like.
I mean, you lasted 17 days in the show. I can't imagine you smelled good no one smells good, I think, after probably day 5 on Survivor.
I think that by day 2 I was stinky. By day 2.
I always like to ask this question to people that have been on the show on Survivor. Like, what was like the hardest day number for you?
The hardest what?
Like actual day, like day 5, day 6, or whatever.
I think it was, to me, it was the first day, because I was just thinking of like, okay, I'm chunky, I have body fat, but your body is used to like eat. And if you don't eat, you start feeling like wobbly. And I'm like, I don't want to pass out because I'm hungry, because that would be so fucking stupid. So the first day, I was very concerned about passing out because it was so hot and I was so hungry already. And because before getting into the game, I didn't have like a big breakfast like other people did. Before getting into the game that morning, you get dressed, you eat your last breakfast for like who knows when. And I didn't want to eat that much because I knew we were going to get into a boat and I get, seasick because of the motion sickness. And I'm like, I'm not going to eat that much. So to me, the first day was the most challenging, also because of the pressure of like getting to know new people. What are these people going to think about me? And I think it was day 1. After that, probably an hour before tribal, you always get all like queasy because you don't know what's going to happen. And with my luck, it was always going to be me. So
because you was a name, either like the fake name or the name, unfortunately.
Yeah, like what? Okay, so we're gonna like, it was like, we're gonna throw a fake name out there and we're gonna throw yours. Like, but why mine? Like, why my name? Like, this is it. My name was always out there, always out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely did better in Survivor than I ever personally know I would. That's for sure. I know I'd be out like day 6 because I get angry.
I did better than my mom thought about, because my mom and my brothers like were like, oh, you're gonna be out so fast because you're gonna get like so hungry and so like angry and you're gonna start cursing in Spanish, which I did. I cursed in Spanish a lot. And, like, there's like one episode or 2 that I was purple headed, and my mom called me like, why are you not on the show? Because my mom doesn't follow the show. She's Puerto Rican. English is not her first language, so she was just watching the show to see me on the TV. She didn't understand anything about the game, and I had to tell her like, Mom, because the whole time I was cursing a lot and they couldn't put that on TV. And they had like one of the camera guys at some point, I hit my feet with something and I started cursing a lot in Spanish because it fucking hurt. And he starts laughing. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to talk to them, but he's laughing because he understands. So I'm like, where are you from? And he's like, I'm from Brazil. I'm like, so you know everything I've been saying from the get-go? And he's like, yeah, I know. And if you don't stop it, they are not going to be able to put you on. So from that moment, I stopped the cursing because I was not going to be on the show if I kept cursing the way I was cursing.
I mean, I just love the fact that you're cursing in Spanish. So like, they're like only like, I guess they just have to censor it, of course. But like, I just imagine like if that episode you were just still cursing up the storm and we're there, but like just like your censors all the time while you're talking in Spanish. So people like me who don't know Spanish, you're like, what's happening? She's not saying anything good.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? The whole time there was a storm or a hurricane or whatever, I knew what was going to happen because I come from a Caribbean island that would get hit every single year by hurricane. So we'll be sitting in the shelter and I will look outside. I'm like, guys, I think there's a hurricane coming. And they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is. Like you, I bet you it is. Like I know this shit. It's not like I haven't lived 35 years of my life in an island. And then like an hour later, production will come in and be like, hey guys, there's a hurricane coming. I'm like, I fucking told you guys. Why don't you believe me? I know this shit. So I knew exactly what was going the whole time, which is to me, it's the funny thing because I like nobody for some reason kind of like trust me 100% of what I was saying. Like when Davey find the idol, I told Elizabeth because she was like my buddy. I'm like, Davey has the idol. He's like, no, he doesn't have it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he has it. Like I saw it. I saw a weird interview with him in a corner that it's not like a place we do interviews. He has it. And then when the show came out, I'm like, oh, Davey has the idol. Like I fucking told you guys, nobody believe me. I think that's the thing that drove me most crazy, that I knew what was going on the whole time and people didn't believe me.
I mean, that was their unfortunate choice, and that's my personal opinion about that. Especially because like you and Davey were like my two favorite people on David versus Goliath. So
Davey is so awesome. And you know what? Davey and I have the same shirt. We have a same shirt from Urban Outfitters. And obviously we didn't know. And he posted a picture. I'm like, is your shirt from Urban Outfitters? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I have that shirt because I like men's shirts. They're like way funnier than female shirts. I'm like, I have that shirt.
Yeah.
So we went to that Hearts of Reality
in Atlanta,
and last year, and one night we wore the same shirt, just like have fun with it.
That's cool. Was David versus Goliath your first season applying for Survivor?
Yes. It was like I was not expecting it because I have seen that a lot of people take years. Like Chrissy took like 16 years to get on the show. Right. So I was going to LA to visit a friend for my birthday, and I saw that they were doing auditions, and I made my friend drive me to like an hour away from her house. And I'm like, it's gonna be really quick. And it took us like 4 hours, and I had like no expectation of them calling me back. Because like, who's gonna like call back this tiny nugget? And they did. And I was like super excited the whole time. Just because like even if I didn't make the show, like I kind of like achieved something. Like it was on my bucket list to apply for it and like make it that far into the audition and then get the call that I was going to be on the show. It was like amazing.
I mean, it's incredible. Like, I mean, it's so cool, especially because the season theme. I remember when the theme was announced, it's like, there's no way this theme is going to be good. Like, it's just such a weird theme, especially like, because I feel like the Davids all made sense to me. But the Goliaths were like weirdly placed, except for like, I mean, because like there was a wrestler and there was like Mike White, which like that makes sense for like the Goliaths. But like some of them I was like, you're a model or you're a lawyer. Like,
but they're pretty. They're pretty people, and they have that advantage that they like. Even though we don't want to admit it, we live in a society that the way you look gives you a head in a game in whatever place. You know, if you're cute and you're pretty, you have like some percentage of like getting something out of it, right? So I think that even though we don't see it like that much, I think being pretty gets you a little bit far in something like this.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I want to talk about Jacket Gate because I think like that's always like, I mean, like I even used that on you when we played Mafia. You have your jacket tattooed on you?
Yeah,
my
you
God.
didn't see it. Like on the reunion, I knew I was sitting right behind Christian, and I knew that Jeff was never gonna talk to me. Like, come on, let's be honest, he was never gonna talk to me. But when I look at the screen, because in the reunion you're like on the stage, but there's like a big TV, so you know exactly what's showing on the TV. And then I
Yeah.
saw part of the tattoo, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. He's not gonna talk to me, but I'm gonna be on the fucking TV the whole time. So I kept moving around between Christian. So I was moving the whole time. They were like filming Christian, and I was just right behind me, like behind him, like moving the arm. And I saw it on the TV. And then all my family, all my friends, the production people that were in the crowd, they were like, "You did it on purpose." Or I'm like, "Of course I did it on purpose. I was even if it was my arm, I was gonna be part of this reunion in a big time."
Yeah. But I mean, like, also, like, because you're such a huge character in the pre-merge, except for that one episode that you were not really there when you were cursing in Spanish. Because, like, you're
Yeah.
either always, like, the name, like, you, because, like, especially when it was, when you guys got separated into the third tribe, like, when it was, like, the whole Jacket Gate onward, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
was,
And you know
is,
what? I didn't bought that jacket. That jacket, I was told when we got in, this is well known by the fans. You send a couple of choices of
yeah,
clothing,
yeah.
and they pick whatever you're gonna wear. And production wrote me back, and they're like, "We need you to send us a jacket, like a sweater, because it's gonna get cold at night." And me being from the Caribbean and stupid at the same time, like, "Oh, it's gonna be fine. Like, I'm from Puerto Rico. Like, it's not gonna be that cold." And they're like, "No, no, no. It will get cold. You need a jacket." So I sent a jacket that it was exactly like Christian's. And I think that because he sent his sweater first, they asked me to send
Yeah.
another option, but it was winter here in Massachusetts. So everything out there was like fucking windbreakers. And I'm like, there's not a light jacket here. There's no sweater here because it's fucking cold. So they gave me some options to pick. And I picked that one because that was the only one that wasn't small. That was
Okay.
why I got that one. Like it wasn't. It's mine now, but I didn't bought the jacket. That made me get the jacket. Like I had no idea the brand of the jacket. The one that figured it out was Natalie, and she was like, "Is that a members only jacket?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't got this, but I guess so." So we tried to figure it out, and she's like, "Yeah, that member jacket," and that's when the whole snowball started for the jacket thing.
Yeah. It's so I'm so fascinated. I did not know that you did not like choose that jacket at first because like knowing you and knowing your aesthetic, like a green members only jacket, it like fits you, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like
I
yeah.
didn't. What I like from the options they sent, I like that one because it looked the most of something I will wear outside, and I really like the neckline. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
like androgynous. Like a boy can wear it and a girl too. So yeah, I'll pick this one. But like, I had no clue of what it was. I didn't know it was gonna be such a big deal.
Was it a big deal on the island also, or was it just a big deal what we saw on the show?
It was a big deal when we did the swap. In the
Okay.
beginning, when we were just the Davids, even though like there was people like super cold at night, like Jessica was so cold the whole 3 days she was there. Like nobody paid attention to the jacket at all, at all. And then we swap and we go to Giovanni, and the jacket is a big issue. And I'm
And
like,
now
I,
it's
I
just like yeah.
I don't get it. It's just, I think that's what it hurt the most. That first of all, it's just a jacket. It's a piece of fabric, and it became more important than what I had to bring as a person to the tribe. You know, I was just, and that's what I saw. In, I mean, it came out good. Like, I mean, I'll always be known for being part of the jacket game. But in that moment, when your life depends, like your life in the game depends of your persona and what you can bring. So you're either keeping me or voting me out because of a piece of fabric. That kind of like hurt.
Yeah, it's kind of a shitty reason to go, you know? Like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean we both do these like fun like social games, but like that's like the shittiest reason to go. It's like in sequester if like your video is bad or something like that, you know?
Yeah, if I were like an asshole, I would have understand like, yeah, these people want me out because I'm a fucking cunt. But like, I was not like that. I provided like none of you guys saw that, but every morning I will bring food. Like I will go out there and get crabs for the people. I will help with the rice. I will bring wood. Like I was productive at camp, and to
Yeah.
just discard me because we might get your jacket. It was kind of like stupid.
I'm sorry I had to deal with that. Because I mean, I can't imagine you're living your actual dream, then all of a sudden, it feels like it could end because of an article of clothing, which
Yeah,
sucks. I mean, I'm happy
yeah.
it didn't end with that. It was just, yeah, because you always see you were always pulling your fucking weight in the show, you know?
I was the
Like,
whole time, the whole time. You guys didn't see it, but I really had like really good relationships with Mike, with Nick, with the rest of the Davids. The only people I had friction was Natalie during the game, which now I love Natalie. Natalie is hilarious,
was she
and
that intense in the show, on the island too, or was that mostly just for show?
Natalie was intense. Natalie was intense, but that's who she is. You
Yeah.
know, she's not wrong when she says that she exudes power because in her real life she has power of her company. She is the boss, so that's why you're gonna exude because that's who you are, right?
Yeah.
But she was so set on Goliath strong that she didn't want to see other possibilities. I was willing to work with anybody as long as I made it to the merge because I had like a set of goals I wanted to achieve. Like I wanna not be voted out. I don't want to be the first one out, and I accomplished that. Like I wanna at least in my tribe win a challenge, and we did that. So my next goal was like, okay, I want to make the merge, but I after the show ended and months have passed and all the waters go down to their level, I talked to her and I'm like, you know what? I think our mistake, both of us, was that you were so into Goliath strong, and I was so set on like I don't want to work with her because she has a strong personality and she just wants to be Goliath strong. And maybe if we will have been able to oversee that, we will have made it a little bit farther in the game.
Yeah.
But
And
that's all this shit that you think like months after the game, and then it haunts
right.
you because it still haunts us. I bet you that it still haunts her.
Yeah, and I bet everything I mean, I can't even imagine how much every move must haunt everyone that's ever played a game of Survivor. I mean, I imagine Eric Reichenbach definitely still thinks about giving up the idol and stuff like that, you know, and that was 10 years, that was over 10 years ago.
Yeah, but also in Eric's case, nobody wants to drop that shit. Every time something happens, it's like I feel bad a little bit, and I told him like, man, I feel bad because they keep bringing this, even the show, even production, seasons later,
yeah,
they bring you back for that. It's like, come on, guys, let it go. I know it was good TV, and it was not the smartest move, but I feel bad for him. But it's good because he will always be part of the history of the show, same as the jacket. So it's cool. We'll always be there.
and they're gonna bring you back like they brought him back, and you'll get to the fucking jury, and if not win, because you're fucking awesome.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I still have a bunch of student loans I have to fucking pay, so they better bring me back.
So they have to bring you back at least so you get the per diem.
Yeah. I like people are like, oh, but you lost. I'm like, yeah, I lost, but I got some money and I went on the pre-merger trip that everybody knows it happened. So I went to another country I never thought I was gonna go, and I had a lot of fun, and I met other people aside from the people in this side of the world. So to me, even though I didn't win the money, and I really wanted to win the money, come on, let's be honest, everybody wants to win the money. I also won such a rewarding experience that it doesn't have a money value to it.
I get that. I want to talk about another island that we both care about, Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Because our friendship became because of Animal Crossing. So how's your island doing, first off? I imagine your island's insane because I saw that you posted online about your bank account in the game is massive.
I have, as today, I'm a billionaire and I have 29 bills in my $29 billion in my account. I still owe Tom Nook that last
For
loan
the basement, yeah.
for the basement, but my basement is crappy, so I'm not gonna pay him yet. But I have made a lot of money, and the last two things I have done is that I did a cemetery yesterday in an homage of all the hours I have lost in real life playing this game. So I did a cemetery, and I also have a game that I post from time to time on Twitter. So if you go to I'll give you your a doodle code, and you'll come to my island, and you pay 1,000 bells fee, and I laid out a bunch of bags, presents, and they have clothing, money, furniture. They have a little bit of everything, and there's one lucky bag that nobody still has gotten that has 10,000 bells.
Oh wow.
So you just and today my friend sent me the spinning wheel, so I'm gonna see if hey, mama, tranquila. I'm gonna see if I can customize the wheel and try to like make another game out of the wheel and have people come over to play with me. I really like that people can, because I used to have it when I had the GameCube, and
Yeah,
you couldn't swim or visit other people and stuff, and like stuff were more easy. Like you know how many golden shovels I had on that game, because it was so easy to just like create your own golden shovel, and now
yeah.
it's so much difficult if you don't have the recipe. But now this one, you can visit people and you can write on their message boards and you can exchange stuff and you can swim. So I think I really like the game, especially when I'm really bored at night and I just post on Twitter, who's Survivor friends, who is awake, I want to play and I'm going to visit you, and see like other people's island and how they have progressed in it and how cool they are. I really like it. I really love visiting people.
Yeah, I took a hiatus from the game for a few weeks, and I just got back into it like yesterday. So I gotta invite you to my. So like I know you haven't been to my island. I've been to your island, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't remember if I went to yours, but I'm pretty sure you came to mine.
Yeah, I believe I did. Yeah, I believe I came to yours. But because like the game is so much fun, I got stuck up in Paper Mario, which is so much fun too.
I want to buy that one.
It's really fun. It's really cute because like it's got like all that cool 2D and like origami, and it's like fucking weird.
I had it on Wii, so I'm familiar with that one.
I had the first one, like for what was it, Nintendo 64?
Oh, I didn't have that console.
Yeah.
It was too complicated. When they started, like I wear glasses because I have a condition called hypermetropy. So if I don't wear my glasses, I don't see three dimensional in one eye. I just see everything flat. So yeah, playing those kind of games, like I cannot play Call of Duty because it moves so much that it gives me a headache, and I cannot go to a theater and watch a 3D movie because I cannot take my glasses out, and it's super complicated to wear my glasses and the 3D glasses. So I cannot watch it because I get super sick if I do. So this is the first one. Yeah, I play some games that don't have that much action and movement, because if not, I will like probably throw up.
And we don't want that. I mean,
no.
Puke, yeah. Like you're the movies to escape, not to puke.
I realized that when I saw Avatar 3D, and I got super sick, and I thought it was because I was super high, and then I went to
a bad movie to see high. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was super high, but I didn't wear glasses at that time. And then when I went to the doctor, because I was like, crashing a lot of stuff around because I couldn't see, and he told me what I had. I asked him like, so what happens if I watch a 3D movie without glasses and just the 3D glasses? And he's like, oh, you're gonna get sick. You're gonna get like so messed up. And I'm like, oh, that happened already. Thank you. It was not good.
And then you found out never watch Avatar again.
No, it's too long. It doesn't make any sense. I don't even remember.
It's not good. I remember I was so excited to see it for like years. And I saw like opening day and I was really excited. I'm like, oh, this is Dances with Wolves / Last Samurai / Pocahontas, but not as good.
Yeah,
that was my experience.
I'm doing this podcast that I told you about horror movies. And we have to review one as a group. We watch one movie, but during the week we have to watch several movies because we have to talk about the movies we have seen during the week, right?
Yeah.
And we have been going to the drive-in, and luckily for me and my job on this podcast lately, they have been doing a lot of horror movies. So we went on Sunday, and they had Scream, and
Yes.
the second movie was Blair Witch Project. And I remember that when I went to see the Blair Witch, I was already in college. I was a freshman in college, but I skipped class to go and watch it, right, with my
Yeah.
friends. And when I got to the mall, I bumped into one of my mom's coworker, and that was scary as fuck because I thought this lady was gonna rat me out that I was at the mall instead of being in school. And and she didn't tell my mom. I rat myself out. My mom got angry at me because I rat myself out. But I was so scared watching that movie, and I think it was crap. I know that it opened the door for these footage movies, and it opened
Yeah.
a lot of. And at that point, it was kind of like relevant in the sense that people didn't know if this was real footage because these people went AWOL for all the when the movie was in the theater.
Yeah,
So
the
you didn't
actors
know.
were never they were at Sundance, I believe, the actors, but like that was it.
Yeah, so you didn't really know if this shit was real or not. So we watched it on Sunday, and we watched Scream first, and I really like Scream again, and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot how good this movie was. And then the Blair Witch starts, and my fiance, right in the middle of the movie, she was like, so when is it gonna get scary? And I start laughing. I'm like, you'll see. And the movie progresses, and she keeps asking, when is people gonna die? When is it gonna get scary? And then when the movie ends, I'm like, and the movie ended, and it wasn't scary at all. And she's like, this was crap. I'm like, yep. 20 years later, I still think it's a really bad movie.
I remember as a kid, I thought it was real because I'm like I think like 3 or 4 years early about like because I was like in middle school when it came out, like end of middle school, and I was just like, oh man, this movie's gonna like this is real. And then I saw the movie like on VHS, and I was like, this is really sad, like because it was just like because like it's like a sad documentary about like people losing their mind and like losing friendship, and
I saw
yeah.
it was so funny on Sunday because when I saw the first time, I haven't done Survivor. Obviously, this came out
Right.
20 years ago, and
This came
we
out
saw it on
before Survivor
Sunday.
even started. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So
I saw it on Sunday, and I was telling the friends we went with and my partner, I'm like, you know what's really funny? That these people spend maybe 7 days in the woods, and she's still so clean, and her braid is so well set, and the cameras keep rolling. And I remember that when we're on the show, every like couple of hours, they have to change the reel because the reel is over and you have to put more tape into it to keep recording.
yeah.
And these people have been recording for days. The battery doesn't die. They don't get dirty. Like this is definitely not what is supposed to happen when you get lost in the woods and spend days there. It was, I mean, it was fun to rewatch, but it's sorry guys, if you like the Blair Witch, it's not my favorite one.
I feel like it'd be fun to watch in a drive-in though, like because like there's only like trees and surrounding, and definitely very dark. But yeah,
The
like but Scream
experience
is
of
so like,
the
perfect.
Yeah, the experience of going to see these movies at the drive-in. Last week we saw Evil Dead and Evil
Oh
Dead,
yes,
and it
yes,
also have a scene like that scene that the tree. I didn't know that happened because it was the first time I saw it, and then I see this scene where a tree is apparently raping this woman, and I'm like, is this what's going on? But then you're surrounded by trees, so it kind of like makes it scary,
yeah.
like listening all the forest noises in the movie and the real ones out there. It's an experience. So if any of you guys have a drive-in close by, even if you're gonna go and see Trek, just go and do it because it's such a fun experience. And now that we're not able to like go to actual theaters, or that if you want to see a brand new movie and Disney Plus is charging you $30, just go to the drive-in. It's gonna be a great experience.
And drive-ins are always fun. I haven't been in one in years, and like I know there's a couple near me in New York, but they're like a 40-mile drive, so it's not that near me, from what I
Yeah.
understand. which is insane that like there's like lots of space like in deep Brooklyn. It's easy to set something up there, but yeah. I love the movies. I miss going to see movies. I haven't seen a movie in the theater since middle of March. So.
Yeah, we are members of a small theater here around the corner, and they've been closed since March, and we're members. And I was actually asking them today because our membership expires in October, and we haven't been able to go to the movies since March. And we were regulars because they have midnight shows, so we will go every Friday at midnight. We will walk there. And then we will watch a scary movie, and then we will walk back home. And that street is super dark and super scary, but we haven't been able to do it. And I pitched the idea to them, like, hey guys, why don't you find like a park and just like project something? Like, it doesn't have to be something big, but it's doable. People misses like all these activities a lot, and I think that's one of the reasons people are going crazy, because it's okay if you're like at your house. Like, I never went out that much before pandemic happened, but now that you can actually go out, you miss going out.
Yeah.
So we were not people that will go out every single night or like all the weekend out. But now that you can, it's like, fuck, I really want to go out there and like do something, and we can't.
Yeah, I've been spending all my time at home like recently, and I try to go outside at least 10 minutes a day, at least. So, because I live by Prospect Park, I can like go for a nice walk, But
I mostly go out. Now we're opening the pot of going out to some stuff. But in the beginning, I will only go out to the supermarket, and I was so happy. I mean, I always love supermarkets, but like that was the only place I could go right now. So I will get super excited on Saturdays because I was gonna leave the house to do the grocery shopping and see people go crazy for food. So now it's getting better, but I think that I don't know if this happens to you every couple of weeks you get this like anxiety. I do suffer from anxiety, so after a couple of weeks not going out, I go crazy for like 3 or 4 days and super depressed, and then I'm like I have to like readjust and be like, okay, this is because of this, and I have to chill. But it's been difficult not to being able to like see my friends or like any of even people I don't like.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the reason I started doing this. Like, I want to talk to people that I care about and like learn about people and like reach out to people. Like, as a creative person, my brain's just been like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like, just because that's the way things have been, unfortunately, but that's how it is. And
last year, before all this, we started doing a burlesque show here in Boston, my partner and I, and we will do a show. Yeah, every month.
Right, we had a burlesque dancer. You told me that once. Yeah.
Yeah, and not we were at that stage like in the industry, any businesses, the first months are a little bit slow until people start getting to know you and the word goes out there and stuff. And the moment that finally the word was getting out there and the weather was getting better for people to go to our shows, then this shit happens. And now we're like back to square one. The good thing has been, but I think that in our case with our show, the good thing has been that the community here, we have been doing like virtual shows and we have stayed connected. So I think that in that sense, the pandemic has been good because it has opened other doors for us in the virtual world that we didn't have before. So now people know that we produce a show and people want to go to our show when we can have our show. And we have people that want to perform in our show because they have seen us and we have connected with people, because that's the only way we can connect now, through the internet.
Yeah, I mean, last weekend I did. I acted like the first time in a few weeks where I did, a few months where I did an adaptation of Princess Bride, but like Shakespearean, and like it felt great. Like there was like 100 people watching for this show, and it felt like I was actually doing theater, but like in my apartment. And it's interesting how creative types are using what we have as tools.
Yeah. My next goal is, I was asking today, I want to start streaming my Animal Crossing thing, because I see like a lot of people doing that. Yeah, so I spoke with a friend and he told me like, oh, you need this and this program so you can do it, and you need a good camera. And I'm gonna order that adapter today, and I already downloaded the program. So
Yeah.
in the next couple of days, I'm gonna plan it so I can like start like streaming me doing stupid shit on Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, when you start doing that, please let me know. Wrapping up. Might as well also start like getting your like Twitter and stuff like that up here, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
yeah,
you don't have it there, but if any of the people that are watching this are fans of horror movies and horror everything, you should go and find Heavy Leather Horror Movie Podcast. It's the podcast that we do once a week. We bring up like a lot of horror movies, what we think about them, and really weird news out there in the horror world.
Heavy Leather Horror Movie Podcast. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I'm going to download that myself because I subscribe to you as a human being and everything that you do. I've got another question for you before we wrap up. So every Friday we have a thing like they would call Brant Steele Day. Would you like to be part of the Brant Steele cast for that day? I just need like I'll use like a photo of you, and hopefully you'll win the simulated version of Survivor that happens.
Yeah. I'll be up for that. I'll be up for everything. Well, awesome. Not everything, but mostly everything I'm okay with.
Yeah, like what we do is like I like go through a whole Brant Steele season while on the air, and I narrate the whole thing. And it's silly and stupid. One of my friends last week had 3 idols played on them in one tribal council, which is absurd. I didn't know Brant Steele could do that because that defies all logic. It's like you're safe with 1 idol. You're even more safe in theory with 2 idols, but like you become to 3. Like
your friend should have given me one when I went out to please save myself for another episode.
If this wasn't last week, and if this was like 2 years ago, and if it was real and not Brant Steele, then yes. Oh my God, I'd be like, give it to Lyrsa. Because I've never met anyone that does not love you because you're fucking awesome. And you are what you are. Like, you're awesome. Like, you just, I fucking love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, also you can do that. I'll be here Friday. Lyrsa, thank you so much. It's meant so much to me.
No, thank you, Mark. And come and visit my island soon. If you haven't played in a couple of days, you have a lot of weeds and a lot of rocks that you need to like kill.
No, I know. I got a lot of weeds. I got to take care of that right now. But thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. Anytime.
I'll see you guys next time. Bye.